Oh, hey, where's the thing for it? Oh, welcome to the Empower Series podcast. I'm Clifton Johnson. I'll be your host today, and thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to have a personal conversation about some rules of life. I'm going to mention a couple of authors that are my favorite authors, and I would like you to take some notes. His name is Og Mandino, so Og Mandino. He is a self-help writer. He's one of the premier self-help writers back in the 70s, also 60s and 80s, as well as in the 90s. If you haven't heard of him, I'll tell you a little bit more later. But in the meantime, right now, since you're just now joining us, I want you to take the time to share this link with somebody else, because someone else in your circle can benefit from hearing our conversation today about a way to live better. That's all. This is a way to live better. I'm going to share some ideas with you, so you know if you're a follower of the Empower series, and I'm talking about financial literacy, I'm talking about personal development. But before we get into budgeting, cash flow statements, credit management, entrepreneurship, life insurance, preparing to buy a home, all of that stuff that is knowledge based, at the end of the day, if knowledge was all we needed, my man Les Brown would say we will all be healthy, wealthy, and happy. But it's more than just knowledge. It's action, and it's the inside work that we have to do. So we're going to talk about Og Mandino and a number of his books in a minute. But in the meantime, share this with someone else. Share this with some friends. Make some comments. Let me know where you're jumping in from. I'm going to follow you on our YouTube channel. So if you want to jump on YouTube at the Empower series and share that with other people, that's cool. You might be on Facebook as well. I would say share it with your circle of friends, and let's get some conversation going. So in the meantime, like I was saying, we're going to talk about Og Mandino. One of my favorite books is called The Greatest Miracle in the World. When I wake up in the morning, I have my vision board, and in the very center of my vision board, I have the greatest miracle. And I put that there just to remind me that in my belief, I believe that we are all miracles of God. And that's everybody, even the ones that we may not like that much. But we are all miracles as humanity. And I have to remember that, because all of the desires and the dreams that I have, and if I'm very, very quiet, were given to me, and I have all of the resources to manifest them. And I believe that we all have been given a purpose in life. And our goal is to remember that we are the greatest miracles in the world. We are co-creators in this physical experience that we're having. So Og Mandino has written a number of books. Just to name a few, his most popular book, though, is The Greatest Salesman in the World. That was published back in 1968. In that book, he has 10 scrolls that talks about achieving success in life. But the other books are The Greatest Secret in the World, which I just mentioned, The Greatest Miracle in the World, The Gift of Abakar, The Christ Commission, The Greatest Success in the World, University of Success, A Better Way to Live. And this is Og Mandino's autobiography. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. In that Better Way to Live book, he has 17 rules to live by. And these are personal rules that he's come up with given his experience in life. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and read them to you. And as I read them to you, he was also such an advocate of not just thinking positively, but also taking positive action. So I'm going to tell you, as a result of each one of these rules of life, what I'm going to do action-wise to implement that in my life. So it's a personal conversation with you. And I would like you to take the time to get a pen and paper, take some notes, and let's kind of have this conversation together. I'm just going to share with you again a book that has inspired me to live a better life. So as I look at my notes, to start with the first rule of life is to count your blessings. That's the first rule, rule number one. And so in essence, that's count your blessings. Once you realize how valuable you are and how much you have going for you, the smiles will return, the sun will break out, the music will play, and you will finally be able to move forward towards the life that God intended for you with grace, strength, courage, and confidence. So appreciate where you are and count your blessings. So we all talk about waking up in the morning and doing some type of routine or the hour of power of attention. I would suggest that an action that I'm going to take and that you might consider is just writing down 3 things to be thankful for. So I know that every day when I wake up, I do my light stretches in my bed, but then the thing that I'm always thankful for is the fact that I woke up. So thank you, God, for waking me up and giving me another opportunity to impact a life. So that's number 1. So I'm always thanking the ability for me to breathe and to move and to make an impact in life. That's number 1. I also am very thankful for my family. I have 2 children that I am grateful are still talking to me, given all of the mistakes I've made as a parent. And so I love my family, and I'm very grateful that they are still around. They still listen to me, or at least pretend like they're listening. I'm planting some seeds in them. And the other thing that I'm very thankful for are the people that I work with, the people who are here at AE Media Group. They do a lot for me to help me make an impact and make me look good on social media. So those are 3 things that I'm always thankful for. That's part of the 3 things that I was thankful for this morning. So I would ask you, count your blessings and don't stop at 3, but at least have 3 on a daily basis of what you are thankful for and counting your blessings just before you start the day. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is deliver more than is expected. And so in the reading of that is today and every day, deliver more than you are getting paid to do. Now, in this society, kind of taking a break here, this society, we're always thinking, let's get as much as we can for as little effort as possible. So this is like a twist in that. The victory of success will be half a one when you learn the secret of putting out more than is expected in all that you do. Make yourself valuable in your work that eventually will become indispensable. Exercise your privilege to go the extra mile and enjoy all the rewards you receive. You deserve them. So again, going the extra step, that's noticed. Like I said before, in this society where most people are thinking, I want to get as much money as possible for as little work as possible, there's some efficiency in that. But at the end of the day, what's noticed is when you put forth the extra effort. So I'm doing some extra work to help somebody in a department that's outside of you, or putting forth some extra hours if you're in a sales team, calling extra, coming in earlier or staying a little bit later to make those extra sell calls. Whatever that might be, just looking at how you can add value. The action step might be to identify some ways that you can exceed expectations at your work this week. I know what I've done is I've helped another coworker. I'm on a sales team. I helped another coworker actually close a deal and get some money in the door that I'm not going to get compensated on, but I just helped him. So that's one example of what I've done this week. And think about some examples for you of how you can go the extra mile. So that's rule number 2. Rule number 3 is learn from your mistakes. We all are going to make them. So let's just make sure that we're learning from them. So the reading is, whenever you make a mistake or get knocked down by life, don't look back at it too long. Mistakes are life's ways of teaching us. Your capacity for occasional blunders is inseparable from your capacity to reach your goals. No one wins them all, and your failure when they happen are just part of your growth plan. Shake it off. Shake off your blunders. How will you know your limits without you occasionally failing? Never quit. Your turn will come. And one of the things that I always think about is Michael Jordan. We talk about all of his successes and everything, but what you don't hear is that he missed over 9,000 shots. But what I like about basketball is that no matter how good you are, if you're making your shots, when you miss, you gotta have amnesia. You gotta forget it, learn from it, and just keep going. So the action could be, after a setback, reflect on what you've learned and how to avoid it. And so when I think of my setbacks, oh my gosh, there's so many, whether they're relationship-based. I would say mine are more relationship-based. I find that what I've learned is that I need to be more accepting and compassionate and loving and listening. And a lot of times when I'm talking to somebody and let's say someone's rubbing me the wrong way, I get very defensive. I can feel that internally. And so what I've learned from that is when I'm starting to feel that tension internally, I'm realizing that I'm not listening, and I may not be giving them the experience of being heard and listened to. I'm not perfect at that. I am always making that mistake. I'm always learning. I'm getting better at it. But I would tell you that that's what I've learned from some of my setbacks. So when you look at any setback that you've had, I would like you to take some time to reflect upon that. Don't beat yourself up, but just think, what can I learn from that? So that's my action item of what I've learned. The fourth rule is nurture family relationships. Family is very big for me. So always reward your long hours of labor and toil in the very best way. Surround yourself by your family. Nurture their love carefully. Remember that your children need models, not critics. Sorry, Michelle and Tyler, I apologize. And your own progress will hasten when you constantly strive to present your best side to your children. And even if you failed at all else in their eyes of this world, if you have a loving family, you will be successful. So that's his golden rule number 4. An action item might be to plan some special activities with your loved ones. So I know one of the things that I like to do with my daughter is go to the movies or go eat. So this week I'm going to reach out to her. There's a new movie coming out. Maybe we can go check out a movie. But think about yourself in your busy schedule of life. Maybe set some time aside to do something special with your loved ones. When you look at Michelle Obama is very focused on family memories. So no matter how busy she is, when she wakes up in the morning, before she works out, she spends time with her family by having breakfast. So whatever time that is, whatever time you can squeeze in, I would say nurture your family. Realize that there's going to be, if you have kids, they're going to grow up and move out. If you're just by yourself and you have a significant other, spend time with them, make time with them, because that is truly your goal of success. Having someone who cares for you, who will have your back no matter what. All this external trappings will come and go, but the relationship and the memories will last forever. So that's rule number 4, nurture family relationships. Number 5 is maintain positive thoughts. Easier said than done. But build this day on a foundation of pleasant thoughts. Never fret at any imperfection that you fear may impede your progress. Remind yourself as often as necessary that you are a creature of God and have the power to achieve any dream by lifting up your thoughts. You can fly when you decide that you can. Never consider defeat again. Let the vision in your heart be in your life's blueprint and smile. So believe in yourself no matter what, and you will achieve all of your goals. So the action step is to start every day with some type of affirmation, reinforcing your dreams and your goals. I know with me, after I look at my vision board, I do read my affirmations because we're going to get bombarded with a lot of negativity in life, and we've got to have a counterbalance to defeat that. So start off in the morning by reading positive affirmations or doing some kind of meditation and putting some positivity as a foundation before you deal with all of the things you've got to deal with in life. So that's the 5th goal. And a good example of that, when you see other people who have challenges and that you look at them and they're still happy and they smile, whether it's a physical or mental challenge, they are still able to get through in life. It may look easy, but it's work, because they are doing some inner work to make sure that they have the positivity as a foundation to deal with all of the challenges they have to deal with in life. So I would encourage you to start off your day with a positive thought. Now, rule number 6, let actions speak louder than your words. Ooh, do you see what I'm saying? So let your actions always speak for you, but be forever on guard against the terrible traps of false pride and conceit that can halt your progress. The next time you are tempted to boast, just place your fist in a pail of water, and when you remove it, the whole remaining will give you a correct measurement of your importance. You see what I'm saying? You take your fist out of that water, that space is going to be taken up by water again. So are you really that significant? Are you really that important? I would say to an individual who loves you, yes, but at the end of the day, when it comes to your actions do speak louder than your words. And it's not about being conceited. It's about really just making sure that your word, and you can say all the things that you would like to do, but if you're not doing anything to really back that up, then people are just going to look at your words as being empty. So your actions speak louder than your words. It's not about being boastful, but it's about being results oriented, and let the results speak for themselves. So focus on efficiency, on effectively completing tasks and showcasing results instead of self-promotion. I don't really self-promote myself. I like to help people. My passion is the Empower series. I have to do a better job in identifying what our impact is and how what we're doing is really transforming lives. But this is never about me. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm this and I'm that. I am on this journey just like everybody else, struggling every day when I wake up, because at any given moment, there are things going well and there are things that are tough. And I need to surround myself with positive people, do my morning routine and be consistent with it so that I can achieve my goal and deal with all of the challenges that I'm dealing with. But we're all in the same boat. No matter how someone looks, they're waking up, putting on their clothes like everybody else, and brushing their teeth so they don't have bad breath. So again, let your actions speak louder than your words. And that's rule number 6. Rule number 7 is find the good in every situation. And that's tough, easier said than done. But each day is a special gift from God. And while life may not always be fair, you must never allow the pains, the hurdles, the handicaps of the moment to poison your attitude and plans for yourself and for your future. You can never win when you're wearing this ugly cloak of self-pity. And the sour sound of whining will certainly frighten away any opportunity for success. Never again. There is a better way. Now, the way I like to look at this is whenever I find myself complaining, or if you're hearing somebody complain about something, what's interesting is they're always complaining to someone who can't do anything about what they're complaining about. So that's a reminder to me not to complain, because at the end of the day, can nothing be done about it? And so no matter what the challenges are, there's always an opportunity for growth. And I am doing my best to always see that. Some people face financial challenges, and some people, when they're facing financial challenges, might feel hopeless. But I would say maybe strengthening your budgeting skills is the opportunity for learning there. The action that I'm going to take is this: when I face a problem, I'm actively going to seek out the positive aspects and what I'm learning from that lesson. So what's a good example for me in that regard? Oh my gosh, yeah. So I would tell you that I had a big expense come up that was unexpected. And normally I like to pay off my credit cards, the whole balance at the end of the month. But this time I couldn't do that. And so I was incurring credit card debt. And so what I did is I buckled down, and I learned from that. I got to do a better job in planning, building up my cash reserve. So I reduced certain discretionary spending in my budget, and I'm putting more of my emergency fund so that the next time I run into a big expense like that, I can easily, if I got to put it on a credit card, pay it off at the end of the month. So whatever my situations are, my challenges, I'm always going to look at what can I learn from it instead of beating myself up from it. So that was rule number 7. Rule number 8, prioritize efficiently or effectively. So never again clutter your day or nights with so many menial or unimportant things that you do not have time to accept a real challenge when it comes your way. This applies to play as well as work. A day merely survived is no cause for celebration. You're not here to fritter away with your precious hours when you have the ability to accomplish so much by making a slight change in your routine. No more busy work. No more hiding from success. Leave time, leave space to grow now, not tomorrow. So now. So what that means is this. Our time is precious. And I wake up in the morning and sometimes I'm in a rush and I don't take the time to do my routine, and I get through the entire day just rushing, trying to get things accomplished. And then I really didn't sit back to smell the roses. So what I want to do is when I wake up in the morning, before I get going, is I want to prioritize what are the three big things I want to accomplish, make sure I accomplish that. But then I don't fill the space with little busy work. I fill it with meaningful things that's going to inspire me and give me energy. So meditation, yoga, working out, writing a note to a family member and touching them, seeing how I can help somebody. So I want to make sure that I'm prioritizing my time, and even those small pieces of time I have in between big projects, like reading the world's greatest miracle. So what I would suggest doing as an action item is just sitting back and analyzing your daily routine and eliminating wasting time and wasted activity. So the way to do that is just to kind of look back and say, what did I do today? And look at, maybe block it out by hours. And then if you're going to prioritize in the future, have a calendar and block out things that are important to do, and then block out things that are also enriching and energizing for you to do, so that you don't find yourself just getting busy and looking up and saying the day's gone and what did you really accomplish. So that's rule number 8, prioritize effectively. And then number 9 is live each day to the fullest. So live this day as if it's your last. Ooh, that's kind of scary. So if this was my last day, would I do what I've done today? This for sure. Remember that you will only find tomorrow on the calendar of fools. Ooh, I gotta repeat that. You will only find tomorrow on the calendar of fools. I like that. Forget yesterday's defeats and ignore the problems of tomorrow. This is it. Doomsday. All you have, make it the best day of your year. The saddest words you can ever utter are, if I had my life to live over again. Take the baton now. Run with it. This is your day. So seize the day and make the most of every opportunity. So that's really interesting. Am I really looking at every day as a precious gift? And if I was not going to wake up tomorrow, would I really enjoy what I've done and who I've reached out to, what I've accomplished? That's a life really being examined, and being examined on a daily basis, not on a week basis, on a daily basis. Did I really do and live my life to the fullest? So what is the action item that I'm going to do as a result from that? I'm going to schedule some time that is exciting. So what fills me is being with my family. What fills me is kind of interacting with them. It's not so much doing, what someone might say is a fun activity that's playing or doing something like that. I want to have memories with my children. I want to have memories with my family. And so those are things that are very exciting and fun for me. And I'm going to do more of a better job in scheduling some exciting times and touches with my family on a daily basis, the people who are important to me. So part of my morning routine, you may have heard, is to call my Aunt Zelma in the morning on my way to work. I spent all last weekend with my Aunt Zelma and some other family members. So hi, Aunt Zelma. But yeah, that is what I want to do more of, because that really energizes me. Think about what you're going to do. Now, rule number 10, we got 17, we're almost done. Rule number 10 is show kindness to everyone. Easier said than done, but I would say it's easy to show kindness to people who are kind to you. But regardless, show kindness to everyone. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet, friend or foe, loved ones or strangers, as if they were going to be gone or dead by midnight. Extend to each person, no matter how trivial the contact, all the care and kindness and understanding and love that you can muster, and do it with no thought of any reward. Your life will never be the same again. So kindness and compassion is one of the most, in my opinion, undervalued resources. We can smile to someone, give them a compliment in the elevator. Just that smile. You don't know what they're going through that day, but your smile could be the medicine that really helps them have a better day. Because we all get, we're very critical of ourselves, and we might have a negative experience, but that positive input, that kindness that you give somebody can really make their day. So look for opportunities to do that. So for me, I like performing random acts of kindness. Um, I, what I did just the other day is I was making a run to Wendy's, and I probably shouldn't be making a run to Wendy's, but I got a meal, and I started thinking about, do I really need that meal? And when I was leaving, I saw a homeless person, and my thought was, so maybe the purpose for me to get this meal wasn't for me to, go off on my diet, but really to give a meal to somebody. So that was just a random act. I just gave it to them. That meal was better served to them than to me. And so random acts of kindness. So I remember I was in a restaurant and someone paid my bill. So what I did recently is I paid somebody else's bill, and didn't let them know who it was, but that's a random act of kindness. So what is your random act of kindness? Do something randomly just to pay it forward and be kind to somebody else. So show kindness to everyone. Rule number 11, use humor to overcome challenges. So let's see what it says about that. So laugh at yourself and at life, not in the spirit of, um, you know, you know, um, tearing somebody down or making fun of them, or even whining or self-pity, but as a remedy, a miracle drug that will ease your pain, cure your depression, and help you put in perspective the seemingly terrible defeat of the moment. Banish tension, concern, and worry with laughter at your predicament, thus freeing your mind to think clearly towards the solutions that is certain to come. Never take yourself too seriously. So laughter can ease stress and provide a perspective in difficult times. So an example might be a public speaker who forgets his line or her line. So what I do is I watch funny videos and I spend time with people who make me laugh. So that's what I do. The other thing I do, just to give you some personal information, is that I've been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Got my prostate removed back in December of last year. And that whole process, I had to laugh my way through it because I can't believe that nobody told me about it. My brother had prostate cancer, had cancer in my family, my uncles, my aunts, and nobody was saying anything. I was like, well, they went through this? What? If I was a comedian, I could be doing some stand-up routines. But I found laughter in that. And I'm still dealing with it. I'm on hormone therapy right now that's giving me hot flashes, and I'm tired sometimes, as well as my body aches. However, I think that's funny. I'm about to start radiation treatment. And so again, that's a challenge that I'm dealing with. And I also have to keep my mindset positive, because I don't want, the cancer and the C word to dictate my life. But I wanted to share with you, that's an example of how I look back, and many people who've talked to me have said that I have used humor to get through this, and my attitude is inspiring to them. So I just wanted to share that with you. So rule number 12 is don't skimp on effort. Never neglect the little things. Never skimp on that extra effort, that additional few minutes, that soft word of praise or thank, that delivery of the very best that you can do. It does not matter what others think. It is of prime importance, however, what you think about you. You can never do your best, which should always be, you can never do your best, which should always be your trademark if you are cutting corners or shrinking responsibility. You are special. Act it, never neglect the little things, and always strive for excellence and give your best in everything that you do. So that could be in anything, right? As an artist, or cooking, or at your work. So an example might be an artist who can dedicate extra time for refining their technique. Or let's say if you're an athlete, doing extra drills to get better at your skill set. If you're a speaker, practicing your routine. If you present at work, or do any kind of public speaking or anything, just put it forth the extra effort and the extra hour of practice. So an action step for me is identifying an area that I can use a little bit of extra work in. And I would say one is always public speaking, writing, journaling. Um, and one of the other things is that I'm studying real estate now. So putting forth the extra effort to get grounded in that area, just like I am in many of the other areas of financial literacy. So that's an example for me. As I'm going through this, we're on 12, we got 17 to go, or we're on only 17, so we're on 13 now. I would say think about yourself. What are some of the areas that you could, um, put a little bit more attention to, and pay attention to the small details. So 13 is start each day with a positive attitude. Easier said than done. So welcome every morning with a smile. Look on a new day as another special gift from your creator, another golden opportunity to complete what you were unable to finish yesterday. Be a self-starter. Let your first hour set the theme of success and positive action that is certain to echo through your entire day. Today will never happen again. Don't waste it with a false start or no start at all. You were not born to fail. Approach each day with optimism and a can-do spirit. So someone waking up feeling sluggish can set an intention to be more positive. So what I do is my morning routine, as I shared with you. So I'm going to be more consistent with my morning routine, and I created an accountability partner with my son. But basically developing a morning routine that energizes you and motivates you ahead of the day. My morning routine, again, I do light stretches in the bed. I thank my creator, God, for waking me up and the opportunities that's going to be presented to me to enrich and help other people. I look at my vision board, read my affirmations. Then I do a more vigorous workout, yoga on the Peloton or weights. And then I do my meditation, and then I plan my day. So that's my morning routine. What I've done with my son to be more accountable is I created a Google worksheet, and we kind of checking off. I did my morning routine today. I did these items, and so he can do the same thing. So just to show some accountability. So you can do that yourself as well. So the 14th rule is set small, achievable goals. You will achieve your grand dream a day at a time. So set goals for each day. And Denzel Washington says you should have daily goals, weekly goals, but you should even have hourly goals sometimes. So not long or difficult projects. Those can all be broken down into smaller chores, step by step towards your rainbow. Write them down. So just don't keep them in your head, write them down if you must, but limit your list so that you don't get overwhelmed. And it's not like you don't get a lot of stuff that's undone for the day that you got to drag into the next day. Remember that you cannot build your pyramid in 24 hours. Be patient. Never allow your day to become so cluttered that you neglect your most important goal. To do the best you can, enjoy this day, and rest satisfied with what you have accomplished. So that is set small and achievable goals. You break down the large goals into smaller manageable goals, and then write them down. Whether it's, if your goal is to write a book, writing a certain number of words a day or certain chapters a day, whatever that is. So I would say take a large goal that you have and break it down into 3 smaller goals. I like the idea of Stephen King. He's the writer. Stephen King sets daily goals for word count. That's how many words he's going to write. I talked about my Aunt Zelma, who wrote and self-published her first book, Seasons of the Journey, the biography of Dr. James Frank, by Dr. Zelma Lloyd Frank. So she started writing the book in 2016. It was finished in 2023. And now she is doing book signing and publishing it. So again, you can get this book at Amazon, or you can go to Barnes & Noble. But this is an example of how you take a larger goal of writing a book. Some people think that's a big goal, but just break it down. And she worked on this every day and now it is complete. So it's possible. So what's your big goal that you're going to break down to smaller pieces? Think that through and just write it down. So that was rule number 14. Don't let rule number 15 is don't let negativity bring you down. Never allow anyone to rain on your parade and thus cast a pile of gloom and defeat on your entire day. Remember that no talent, no self-denial, no brain, and no character are ever required to set up in a fault-finding business, right? So nothing external can have any power over any of us unless we permit it to. Your time is too precious to be sacrificed in wasted days combating the mental forces of hate, jealousy, or envy. Guard your fragile life carefully. Only God can shape a flower, but any foolish kid can pull it to pieces. You hear me on that? Only God can shape a flower, but any foolish kid can pull it to pieces. Avoid negativity from others and focus on your own positive outlook. So surround yourself by people who are enriching you, inspiring you, and not negative people. So identify some negative influences in your life and limit your exposure to them and develop strategies to deflect their negativity. So what I've done is I am very cognizant about who I spend my time with. There's a small group of people that I let know what I'm doing. I include them in it because being around them will give me energy. The ones that are not going to give me energy usually don't get a call. So that's my activity. 16, just one more after this 16th. Find a silver lining in every challenge. Search for the seed of good in every adversity. Master that principle and you will own a precious shield that will guard you well through all of your darkest times and darkest valleys. Stars may be seen from the bottom of a deep well when they cannot be discerned from the mountaintop. So you will learn things in adversity that you will never have discovered without trouble. There's always a seed of good, so find it and prosper. So look for opportunities for growth and learning within difficult times. So whether you're an entrepreneur or you're in a family situation or you're at work, and when you're faced with a challenge, actively seek the potential benefits or the lessons from it. Now, the last one is true happiness comes from giving. So realize that true happiness lies within. Waste no time and effort searching for peace and contentment and joy in the world outside. Remember that there is no happiness in having or in getting, but only in giving. Reach out, share, smile, hug. Happiness is a perfume you cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. So focus on helping others and spreading joy to find genuine happiness. So you can volunteer, hence the Empower series, or volunteer and make donations to anything that's important to you. Identify someone in need and offer them help. So one of the things that I did recently is, and just today actually, I scheduled a counseling session with someone who has a nonprofit, and they want to get some advice and some resources to help them grow it. So that's what I'm doing. I always look at the fact like Bill Gates and the Gates Foundation. Him and his wife have dedicated a ton of resources to solving the global problems of the world. So my goal when it comes to acquiring any amount of wealth is to be a blessing to other people. So true happiness comes from giving. So be a giver, not just a receiver. It's better to give than to receive. And that is rule number 17. So there are 17 rules. I went through them very quickly. I told you I was just going to run through them quickly with you and tell you what I'm going to do. But the author, again, is Og Mandino. His book is his autobiography, and it is entitled A Better Way to Live. This is where, through his own experiences, that he has come up with 17 rules to live by, that I would implore you to pick the rule that resonates with you and apply it in your life. So we chase a lot of things externally. We chase money, we chase a good job, we chase a big house, a nice car, watches and clothes, all these external trappings to help us look and feel better. But at the end of the day, I've never seen a U-Haul behind a hearse, right? We cannot take any of this stuff with us. And people will remember how you made them feel, not necessarily what you said, what you gave them. And so I would tell you, applying any of these 17 principles in your life may enhance your life and give you a better way of living, a better experience that would even enhance the external trappings in life around you. So I hope this has been very beneficial for you. It's been very beneficial for me, sharing with you some of the books that I've read. I'm going to share with you my vision board. We're going to talk about getting ready to buy a home as well soon, and some other financial topics, since in the month of June is National Homeownership Awareness Month. So we're going to talk about, how do you buy a home now in this high rising interest rate environment, and should you even buy a home in this high interest rate environment? I'll answer that question for you next week. But in the meantime, what I would like you to do is to take some time and review this video again, even pick up the book by Og Mandino, and look at each one of these 17 rules and see how can you apply that rule even more so in your life, so that you can have a better experience and be a better blessing to the people around you. Stay connected with the Empower series. Definitely connect with us on all of our social media accounts. If we can answer anything for you specifically, feel free to email us at thrive@empowerseries.com. I appreciate you. I want to be a resource to you and give to you the connections and any kind of guidance that I can give you to encourage you and inspire you to believe that whatever you envision, you can achieve it. I want to inspire you to take action. And I also want to educate you, as like I said before, connect you to the resources to help you take the next step to achieve your goal. Until we meet again, I want you to be empowered and inspired to thrive.